You know, you kind of already know it's going to be a good day once Kotaku is having a bit of a melty melt, and it looks like they are doing exactly just that. This is an article that I've been meaning to cover for a little while now, and I'm finally getting to it because this article is trying to recreate the magic. It's so obvious. It's trying to recreate the magic from the Sweet Baby Inc. article that Alyssa Mercante did earlier this year that got Kotaku more clicks than they ever got in an entire year. Now we have an article that says the campaign against Avowed reveals that the bigotry that fuels the anti-woke is in its crusade against Obsidian's action RPG. The anti-DEI mob has given the game away. This is literally massive levels of cope, and we are going to get into it.
So just from a story standpoint, not spoilers obviously, but so this exists in the Path of Exile universe.
With Pillars of Eternity. Yeah.
Did I say Path of Exile?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Bruh.
Sorry.
Even I work on the damn
yeah.
No worries, man.
Edit this out.
Okay, you over that? All right.
So, of course, before we do, if you guys are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So, again, just to give you some context before we read this absolute cope, I mean, this thing is ridiculous. The level of, first off, the level of cope and the level of ads that are on this is so insane. It is very clear that this thing is just meant to be rage bait, but I'm going to click it to save all you guys the need to click it. That way you can have an understanding of exactly what it says. And if I could save a few thousand clicks, then I will. Just some context. Avowed is a video game that is coming out made from Obsidian Entertainment that is known for certain RPGs that people have loved for a long time now. But unfortunately, Obsidian Entertainment is that DEI-infested studio that is deciding that ideology is going to take precedence over the game, at its forefront. It's quite unfortunate, but that's just what's happening right now. Could the game be good? Sure, it could be good, but that doesn't make their ideology suddenly just disappear. It's going to be very evident in their video game, and they told us that it's going to be very evident based on their reactions against Elon Musk in the leaked messages that came out from their Slack channels over at their jobs. So it says in 2024, there has rarely been a game announced without a small but tiresomely vocal group of grifters. And again, can we classify? Can we have some consistency? Okay. Sometimes you call us small vocal groups, right, of grifters, which whatever. And then you also blame us for the failure of all these major AAA franchises. So how the hell does a small vocal group subtly contribute to the massive failure of all these franchises that have been coming out over this year? Are we small or are we not, right? Because I don't understand. You guys tend to just say whatever you want to say based off your current narrative at the time. But okay, for this one, he's calling us a small, tiresome vocal group of grifters, which, by the way, a small, tiresome vocal group of grifters, we get more views than Kotaku can ever hope to get. So are we really small or are you the small ones? I'm just saying. Attempting to whip up controversy for their social media followers. No matter what the title and no matter what the developer, every announcement is meticulously scrutinized for any faint sign of a thought crime, an element that can be construed by these charlatans as proof of wokeness, something they can decry as DEI initiative. Then this speculative notion is spun out to followers as the latest attempt to take away your games. The latest target is Avowed, but in picking on it, those running the grift has rather shown their hand. Okay, so according to this actual grifter, the person who is doing literal rage bait and then spamming you with ads look at this. Look at this shit. Just spamming you with ads. Okay, we're the grifters. Number one, it's amazing that you're trying to say that we just look for every single game and try to be negative about it when we have talking. I know I have anyway. I'll speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for anyone else. I know I have talking positive about a multitude of games, and I've also played a bunch of games positively, if there's even a thing. I mean, at the end of the day, none of this is negative for me. I don't know why these people try to make it seem as such, and honestly, that's a lie. I do know why. It's because they're actual grifters. They rely on the mainstream industry. They rely on access to the mainstream industry in order to survive, and if they don't have that access, then they're absolutely screwed, right? They're completely cooked without that access. They don't know how to be entertaining on their own. They don't know how to run their own thing. They rely on the mainstream in order for it to happen. So this is why they consider content like mine to be negative. I don't consider content like mine to be negative. I don't think it's negative to talk about the issues in an industry that I love and have partaken in for decades. I don't think it's negative at all. I think it's actually beneficial for people to have transparency in an industry that doesn't want any transparency. the gaming industry wants zero transparency, and that's a big, big problem. So this is why I actively speak out against it any chance that I get. So no, it's not negative. And also, if you want to be, oh, what about positive content? Well, I'm talking about multitude of different games that have been positive. I'm talking about Black Myth Wukong. I talked about Space Marine. I've talked about Stellar Blade. I've talked about Marvel Rivals. I talked about Kingdom Come Deliverance. I've talked about Half-Life 2. Obviously, I'm playing it on Griffcast. Love it. I've always loved Half-Life 2. I've talked about a multitude of games, man. I talk about Path of Exile, right? I've talked about so many different games in a positive and negative light. It is not my fault that Avowed is deciding to be negative. It's the developer's fault. They are the ones that have come out. The art director is the one that has come out and has made this a thing. So anyway, it says, like any online scam of any note, it's so brazen that it's only more depressing that it works so well. Wait, so are we small or are we not small? Because you're saying now it works so well. So what are we doing? As much of it might infuriate you that someone you know would fall for a cold caller telling them they need to send gift certificates to fix an issue with their Windows operating system. Wow, so you're trying to compare us to Indian scammers. Good, good. Keep going. Let them cook. It should equally upset you that these legions of people fall for the same woke gaming grift over and over and over. But with Avowed, the forthcoming Obsidian role-playing game set in the world of Pillars of Eternity, the con is so brazenly laid bare. Yes, of course, it still works, but it's so much easier to see how. Oh, okay. Let me go through. Oh, I'm sorry. All your ads were getting in the way. I'm sorry. Let me just skip this grift really quick and kind of look at this shit. I can't even go through their website without being spammed with a multitude of nonsense. The shtick would work like this. A game is announced, and because of 2024, that game may not exclusively focus on a white dude saving the world for the lady in a bikini. Nobody's asking for that. Again, this is how you know they're grifters. This is somebody who's trying to do character assassination and overall conversation assassination, where they're trying to take what we know as a nuanced conversation and they're trying to make it into something where, oh, you're just complaining about the lack of white people or hot girls. Okay. All right, let them cook. Or a sexy lady playing dress up in various bikinis while saving the world. I mean, some still do, but this is an industry that creates games that feature a broad range of characters. The grifters recognize this as a useful target for their grift, making claims that the game is artificially altered from what should have been, based on a desire to be perceived as progressive. They then use this to convince large numbers of disaffected young men that the world is trying to take away from them their last vestige of entertainment. Oh, by the way, so that means that all the viewers that are watching this video right now, all of you are young men. Congratulations. So I'm sorry for all the older men out there, for all the women viewers out there, because I know I have, I think, 11% female viewers. I'm sorry. You guys are just young men. I apologize. Kotaku has spoken, and they know you better than you know yourself. The only place left where they feel represented, prioritized. The only hope is to rise up and fight for what's rightfully theirs. And if they like, give some money to the grifter for a project that never sees daylight. Oh, just say Grums' name, bro. Just stop being a pussy. Say Grums' name. Stop. Like, I don't understand why you guys are so scared to say names. This is why nobody takes you seriously. Except the Avowed, those behind the grift forgot to include a couple of vital stages. They forgot to develop the spurious claims on which to condemn the project, failing to identify something that has been artificially included or the element that had been censored in the name of wokeness. And in doing so, they made incredibly clear what it is that is really at the bottom of all this: bigotry. Yes, oh, shocker. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw the claims of a fucking bigotry coming from a mile away. Oh, look, more advertisements. Nobody saw that coming. There's no white man. That's right. This violently racist piece of marketing includes a black woman, a white elf-like woman, a blue man, and an ambiguous race dwarf. How more clearly could a developer be saying that it wants this game to be exclusively played during Drag Queen Story Hour at your local library? Again, nobody cares about this, right? Nobody cares about this. Nobody was talking about this. What everybody was talking about was what the art director said and the way that the developers were acting with their game. Nobody's talking about these ugly-ass fucking characters. That's like the last thing that people are talking about. Sure, this creature's fucking weird. This dwarf, I don't know what the hell's going on here. But nobody, this is the last bit of the conversation that was happening. Everybody was focused on what Matt was saying, what the art director was saying, and this is a prime example of another attempt at an Alyssa Mercante article, which is lying through omission. So I'm not even going to bother to give it any more time of day because it's very clear that this person is just an absolute grifter. Congratulations, you got one click, but I'm sure I just saved thousands of people from clicking this absolute nonsense. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.